Okay, see this pie pan? I pulled this out of my cabinet. It's kind of yucky, so I'm not going to use it. I am going to be making 2 pies, but I'm just going to show you the basics of the 1 pie that I am making. Ooh, get out of here, fly. Shoo. Alright, so step 2 in making your perfect pie. We're going to make a simple syrup for the meringue. Ooh, pardon me. Alright, and the reason why we're going to do this is because this simple syrup is what's going to prevent your meringue from weeping and getting wet. And, you know, when you make a meringue on a pie, like a lemon meringue pie, you see little drops of moisture all over the top of the meringue when it gets done after it's sat for a while. This is going to help prevent that from happening. And this is a recipe I have followed faithfully for years now. And we're going to actually cook this first before we even do the pie filling while our pie crust is baking in our oven. And I just put the pie crust in the oven. And I've already showed you how to do that. So now we're going to do this. Alright, so you want to turn your burner on to between medium and low. Mine's got numbers on it. It goes from 2 to 8. And I usually turn mine on about 4.5. Okay, so you're not going to do it quite medium. If you have a gas range, I would consider doing it on low heat for the first time, just because it can cook very quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 1/2 cup of water, and I've already pre-measured it. I dropped some cornstarch in there, so that's what that is. Alright, so your 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of sugar, and a tablespoon of cornstarch. Come on. Go. Oop. Not that easy to do. One-handed. Oh, that did it. Alright. So, a 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of water, and a tablespoon of cornstarch. And you're going to let this cook until it gets glassy and clear. Okay? So, I'm just going to stir this around a little bit. And I'm sorry that the lighting is not all that awesome right here. My light bulb in my stovetop range, it's just not very bright. But, let's see here. Maybe if I plug this other light in. Well, that helped a little bit anyways. Okay, so we're going to let this cook, and it's going to come to a boil. And you want to whisk it. You don't have to do it the entire time, but you do want to keep it moving so the sugar does not burn in there or caramelize. If it caramelizes, you're probably going to have to start over. It doesn't happen very often, though, unless you're not really paying attention to it. You know, it varies. But you'll see how fast this is going to cook. And how fast it's going to boil. And like I said, the reason why we are doing this ahead of time, before we even do our pie filling, is just so that it can cool before you put it into your egg whites. Now, you could add this hot directly to your egg whites if you're in a hurry. You know, if you, like, say you had some people come over, wasn't expecting them, and you needed a dessert right away, you could pop this right in there right off the stove. I myself prefer it to get cooled off a little bit before I do that. Now you see how it's starting to cook there? It's starting to bubble. So we're making progress. And like I said, this will turn glassy and thick. And it only takes a matter of minutes to get this done. So you do want to watch this carefully. This is not something that you can just throw on the stove and walk away from it. And after it starts to get to bubbling and get to cooking, you're going to want to stir it quite a bit. Just to keep it from burning. See that? See it bubbling around the edges? It's already starting to thicken up. And that's how fast it is. Okay, so that's done. And I will move this off of the heat to let it cool. And you can see how thick that's gotten. Thick and clear and glassy. Like really, really thick pudding. See that? That's what your simple syrup for your meringue is going to look like. Right there. That's it, buddy. And this is what we're going to add to our egg whites. That right there. Okay, so stay tuned for the next part of your perfect pie.